everyone. Welcome to today's Jobinar. I'm Jody Anderson-Duquette here with Workamper News, and I'm excited to be joined by a couple great team members with Delaware North, and they are in charge of recruiting for Yellowstone General Stores. And these guys have been hiring work campers for decades, and it's a really unique opportunity. Lots of work campers have really enjoyed it in the past. And so today we're online with Kayla and Linda, and they're going to go through a presentation to give you all the ins and outs of this great work camping opportunity that's available. And then once we get through the presentation, we will open things up to those of you who are online live with us. So if you do have questions, feel free to put those in at any time. So you should have, if you're on a smartphone or tablet, a questions or chat option on the bottom of your screen that you can tap on, type in what your question is, submit that in, and then you can tap back to the presentation. If you're on a laptop computer, you should have a little control panel there with a questions or chat section for you to type in. So please feel free to pop in those questions at any time. We are recording this webinar today, so if you do have to hop off early, no worries. We will email everyone who registered. In that email will be a link to the recording of today's webinar. And so feel free to watch that back again, just in case you missed anything. And also feel free to just, hit the forward button and send that to any of your work camper friends that you think may also enjoy spending the summer in Yellowstone. So really looking forward to hearing any new changes for this year and just all the cool aspects that you guys have in your work camper program. So Kayla, Linda, thank you guys so much for joining us, and please take it away.
Thanks, Jody. My name is Linda Marquardt, and I am one of the two recruiters for Yellowstone General Stores. And actually, we have a third recruiter helping us this year. She's not on the webcast, but her name is Julie. So you may be reached out to by Julie this year as well. We're so excited to be here for another year. As Jody said, we've been recruiting work campers for many years, and we love to share this information and love for all of you to have an opportunity to join us in Yellowstone. Kayla?
Hi, everyone. My name is Kayla Clark. I am the staffing manager with Yellowstone General Stores, and we're excited to go over everything with you guys and excited to answer your questions. So we'll get started. Okay, so I'll bring up our video.
All right, everyone, Kayla's going to play this really awesome video that we have for you. If you do have any audio issues, sometimes it depends on your internet connection, how well the video will play through the webinar system. So if for some reason it doesn't work quite right for you, just know I'll include a link to the video in the follow-up email. So if for some reason you aren't able to see the video, you'll have a link to that in the follow-up email.
Okay, should be coming up right now.
Looking good, Kayla. It's switching over.
Everything's great. The hot springs are great. The geysers are cool. But the mountains just stand out to me.
That looks so exciting, and I saw some international people talking about how they love working in the country, and then they interviewed somebody my age who said, I love working for Yellowstone General Stores because I get to work with people from all over the world. I was like, that's where I want to work.
Living right here on the Geyser Basin, obviously geysers are quite a passion of mine. It's great living somewhere where I'm woken up not by sirens, but by beehive in the middle of the night. So that's awesome.
I think that canyon would be my favorite spot so far in the park. It's just breathtaking. It takes us like 10 minutes to get there. So sometimes we just go there on our breaks, which is great.
Grand Prismatic.
The Grand Prismatic.
That is, without a doubt, breathtaking and awe-inspiring,
Actually, I love Canyon, the best one, because we can hike to different places like at the upper fall and the lower fall, and there are so many trails we can hike. And the canyon is very gorgeous, yeah.
I just keep coming here for the hiking, the nature, and most of them is for the people I know right here.
You're gonna meet people from everywhere, different countries, different states, who've all been through different things, so you'll hear different cool stories.
And I like the dorm, like it's clean and we have a roommate, but not so many roommates, yeah.
I like our RV site.
Yeah. And the RV site's
that's,
really good.
That's worth the commitment. And in this particular campground, as you can see, we have room between us. So we have our privacy, we have our quiet.
By all means, you can bring your pets with you, living here in the RV park.
I'm amassing this amazing photography collection of all the, we just saw baby bighorns the other day, which was crazy. Last night we saw a grizzly and a cub. It's never ending amazement.
If you like the nature, and you definitely have to come to Yellowstone because you can see so many beautiful things just by walking maybe 5 minutes.
Oh gosh, well I love both Lamar and Hayden valleys. You know, just first they're just so beautiful and expansive, and you know the views are fabulous.
3 years ago, my sister came here, and also she was a cashier working Canyon Village, and she told me a lot of things about Yellowstone, and that made me really want to come here. And then like 3 years later, like my classmate also want to get a work in USA, and so we decided to come to Yellowstone to work together, and I think that's a very great decision we made. Yeah.
Right, whenever I'm telling people, if I'm trying to get them interested, one of the questions I'll ask them, how would you like me to pay you to live and work in Yellowstone?
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of people are like, oh, so you're volunteers. I'm like, no, this is an actual job. It's 5 days a week.
Yeah.
It's an actual job. It's a paid position, but it's nothing like any job I've ever had in my life.
It's not a job. We get to play and live in Yellowstone and get paid.
I love it. Like everything is like well organized. Yeah, we like hang out a lot. There's always like bunch of us like hiking together.
Just there's such a diversity since there's so many people working here. You have an opportunity to meet a great diversity of people from all over the world, and so a community definitely builds there. And if you're just walking around the geyser basin, sitting and waiting for a geyser, it's amazing how many people you get to meet just doing that. It's a great place to just have a break from your life and enjoy something different.
And just be prepared to work hard, but to have lots of fun while working and on your days off. Work hard, play hard, and that's what we do.
Looks good, Kayla.
Awesome. Okay.
We're on the first slide. Okay, slide 2. And slide 3. All right. Back in business.
Awesome. Okay, so if you're thinking, why would you want to work at Yellowstone? Just from the video and this slide here with these pictures, it sort of shows you a few things. So the unparalleled beauty. So Yellowstone is home to dynamic landscapes, geysers, waterfalls, canyons, rivers, forests, and wildlife. You see regularly bison, elk, wolves, bears, and so much more. There's environmental stewardship. Working in Yellowstone means contributing to the preservation of one of the world's most iconic ecosystems. Community and camaraderie from the video and just when you are there. Park staff often form close-knit communities, sharing a passion for nature and sightseeing and service. Adventure and exploration, hiking, kayaking, photography, just stargazing is part of everyday life. You get a digital detox. Limited connectivity encourages mindfulness and just deeper connections with people and nature when you're there. The seasonal lifestyle. Many jobs are seasonal, offering flexibility and the chance to live in different places throughout the world, or throughout the year, sorry. Housing is provided. We provide on-site dorm housing and RV sites for a fee, and just cultural exchange. Yellowstone attracts workers from all over the world, so we try to create a diverse and vibrant workforce. So I think it's a good spot to choose.
Our company is Delaware North, and we are Yellowstone General Stores. We hire team members to staff our retail stores. It's an enjoyable place to live, work, and explore. And Kayla and I will also talk about how you'll apply.
Okay, so just a little more about the company. So Delaware North operates Yellowstone General Stores. We are a global leader in hospitality and food service. And as you can see by the slide, we operate lodging, sporting, and gaming. Our company actually recently sold our travel division. So we no longer operate in airports around the country. So we'll be getting a new slide with new data soon, but we are operating in all different types of hospitality. So we have a variety of subsidiaries that provide different industry services, and Yellowstone is part of our Parks and Resorts subsidiary. In addition to Yellowstone, Delaware North provides recreational guest services in some of the most beautiful and interesting areas in the country, including Sequoia and Kings Canyon, Grand Canyon, Shenandoah National Park, Kennedy Space Center in Florida, Niagara Falls State Park, and a bunch of others.
Yellowstone General Stores is spread out throughout the park. We operate 11 general stores in the park, with our headquarters being in West Yellowstone, Montana. The park itself is 2.2 million acres, the size of Rhode Island and Delaware put together. It is a large park. Most of our stores are quite of a distance away from each other. A lot of them are in what we call villages, but not with services. Their village would be probably the general store. Our partners in the park, Santerra, operate the hotels in the park. So some of those you would see in villages, and some are standalone stores. Our Tower Falls store is like a standalone store. It has nothing else around it. And some of the others are in those so-called villages.
So like Linda said, at Yellowstone General Stores, we operate 11 general stores throughout Yellowstone National Park. And our stores are truly general stores. So we provide visitors an array of gifts, apparel, groceries, camping supplies, jewelry, and food services. So our stores hours during non-peak season are from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And during peak season, they are from 7:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. We offer multiple hiring date ranges with a minimum commitment of at least 3 months and preference of a full season. Your availability will be discussed during the application and interview process, and we will aim to match you with our season schedule. Team members follow a 5-to-2 work schedule with 5 consecutive days on and 2 days off. The typical work week averages between 32 to 36 hours with a maximum of 40 hours. Scheduling may vary based on business requirements, and specific weekly hours are not guaranteed. Part-time positions are not available.
our talent team is varied. This year alone, we had the age range of 18 to 90. So don't think that you're ever too young or too old to apply. We are a diverse and energetic team committed to excellent guest services at the national park. Our associates include retirees, college students, seasonal workers, and international students who all live and work together. Yellowstone welcomes over 4 million visitors annually, and we aim to create a memorable experience for each guest. The job is demanding, though. It can require standing, lifting, bending, climbing, stairs, and all of our environments are fast paced. But we believe that living and working in Yellowstone is worth all of that hard work.
So living at Yellowstone, our associates live on or near their work location. We offer either dormitories or RV sites. Most RV sites are within walking distance to the store, with a few a little farther, which would be discussed during the interview. Site assignments are made by management and are based on the specifics of your RV. Our RV sites can accommodate up to 45 feet long RVs, depending on the RV overhang. These RV sites are not fancy at all. They are adequate and provide the basic needs. So some good things to know. Our RV sites may be rustic. Most have gravel or dirt surfaces with few paved areas. Our weekly site ranges are from $50 to $80. Our payroll deductions are charged per site. So, for instance, if a couple was to join us in one RV, only one person would be responsible for paying for the RV site, not both. So we charge per site. Water, sewer, and electricity are provided. Our lake employee RV park LERV, as we call it, includes in-ground propane in the weekly fee. Propane fills are available at our Fishing Bridge and Grant service stations, while all Yellowstone Park stations offer tank exchanges. Some locations offer full hookups with 50 amp service. Our Mammoth location provides 30 amp service. A little information about the dorms. Dorm accommodations are available for $50 per week. Again, that's payroll deducted as well. Meal plan costs $75 per week with an option for lunch only, which is $37.50 per week for our RV residents. The meal plan is optional for our RVers, but it can be either the full plan or a lunch plan. Families are welcome to live in the RV park. You must be an employee to participate in the meal plan, though. Certain employee RV parks provide comfort stations equipped with individual showers, toilets, and coin-operated laundry facilities. All RVs must be self-contained to accommodate showering, cooking, and sanitation requirements, just as a safety thing. Living arrangements such as residing in your car, using a tent or awning, or occupying soft-sided units are not permitted within the campgrounds. Only hard-sided RVs are allowed. Pets are permitted within the employee campground. In accordance with NPS regulations, all pets must remain on a leash or no longer than 6 feet. Pets should not be tied outside of the RV or trailer unless accommodated or accompanied by a person. At no time should pets be left unattended, including during a brief absence, such as like going to the bathroom. And when unattended pets must remain inside the RV with the door closed. They are not allowed in screened or fenced areas. Free roaming for pets is not permitted within the park. Again, just for safety. Pets are permitted or prohibited from entering the back country trails and boardwalks in Yellowstone. Walking pets is only allowed in the employee RV park when leashed and on blacktop roads. You must keep coolers inside your trailer at all times as well. Leaving them outside even overnight attracts bears and may result in a fine, and that's coming from MPS. Trash must not be left outside at any time. Garbage bins are available at every employee RV park. And just a little more about the meal plan as well. 10 of our 11 stores offer the meal plan. Again, the full plan is $75 a week, which is employee deducted or payroll deducted. And the lunch only option is $37.50. Employee dining rooms are located at the store or in the dorm, usually within walking distance. Our one store that does not offer the meal plan is our Mammoth store, because we don't have a break room or employee dining room in that location. But it does have a break room with a fridge and microwave for lunches if you were to bring your own. Our dorm team members must enroll in the $75 meal plan.
Next questions we get asked often are about technology and mail and things like that in the park. Technology in Yellowstone is comparable to what was available about a decade ago elsewhere. Internet access and cell reception are limited throughout most of the park, and some locations do not have service at all. Most dormitories and stores do have Starlink, and it's usable, but as the increase of guests arrive, even Starlink can be bogged down with all of the people trying to use the services. Verizon for a carrier is generally the most reliable cellular service in the park, while coverage from other providers varies. Individuals who require consistent connectivity may find it challenging to be in Yellowstone. Satellite communication can typically be received at most RV sites, except where there are physical obstructions such as trees, and that would be your own Starlink or service provider. In the campgrounds, we do not have any Wi-Fi in the campgrounds, so you must supply your own. So then on to mail. Often people need to get prescriptions or mail from home and those things. Most of the park villages feature a seasonal post office. Mail can be forwarded to those PO boxes during your stay. However, forwarding to those is not permitted on the off season. So you would, we have an address that we give you for each location that you can forward mail to. We recommend that you transfer your mail only on a temporary basis with specific start and end dates. We don't allow any permanent transferring of mail. There is no service, mail service to Yellowstone in the off season, so they won't hold anything. Packages may be sent to our warehouse and deliveries will be made from the West Yellowstone location. Please know that due to the remote nature of Yellowstone, mail and packages take additional time for delivery. It's not like at home when you get a notification that your packages had been delivered. In West Yellowstone, it may have been delivered to our post office box, which has to be retrieved by somebody, or to our warehouse, and then those get put on a truck and sent out to the individual stores. So you can expect sometimes up to a week delay in receiving your packages. Clinic charges weekly. So inside the park, all associates in the national park are required to participate in a mandatory seasonal employee health program. The cost of the program is charged weekly. That charge for the 26th season is $8.12 a week. This program is not insurance. It is intended to be used to provide funding to make medical services available at 3 in-park clinics. Other insurance remains primary. However, associates receive a discount on clinic services. Yellowstone is remote and far from major medical facilities, so anyone who requires frequent or complex medical care may find the location inconvenient. Individuals with conditions that can be heightened by elevation, dehydration, or physical demanding work are advised against employment in the park. A lot of times people have a condition that can be managed at a lower elevation and just don't realize elevation can alter your condition. So it's best to speak to your physician if you have a condition before applying for a position at these high elevations. As far as groceries, basic grocery items are available in our general stores. Most team members prefer to purchase goods at grocery stores outside the park, which can be found in West Yellowstone, Montana, Bozeman, Montana. Bonus about purchasing in Montana is there's no sales tax. Cody, Wyoming, and Jackson, Wyoming, and Gardner, Montana also has grocery stores. Pharmacies, this one I get asked a lot. A lot of people have their medication mailed to them, or there are pharmacies in our gateway communities. The parks clinics do not have pharmacies. The nearest pharmacies to most of our locations are going to be in West Yellowstone, Montana, Cody, Wyoming, and Bozeman, Montana. Fuel. Diesel, propane, and gasoline are available in all of the gateway communities, and also there are service stations in many of the villages that offer those services.
Okay, so working at Yellowstone. So first, uniforms. Associates must bring their own blue jeans in good condition, and appropriate shoes that are neutral in color and cover their entire foot. We do provide the uniform top and hat, and we do have certain appearance standards that we are kind of going to go over a little bit right now, and this can be talked about during the interview as well, or after the interview process as well. So certain appearance and uniform standards that Yellowstone General Stores has. All hair must be neat and groomed, including facial hair. Hair color must be conservative in nature. Only natural colors are allowed. Team members must wear blue jeans or capris or khaki shorts that are at least knee length, and closed-toe shoes as part of their uniform. Uniforms must be clean and wrinkle-free. Name tags must be in good condition and always worn during work hours as part of your uniform. Name tags are always worn on the opposite side of the company logo. If a company jacket is worn, which you can purchase as well, the name tag should be placed on the jacket so it is visible. Only conservative accessories may be worn with the uniform and are at the discretion of management, especially when they create a safety hazard. Team members must wear a maximum of 2 earrings per ear. Per food safety requirements, piercings and wrist watches are not permitted for all food service team member positions while on duty. Visual body piercing, including tongue, is not permitted while on duty. If an individual has a tattoo, the tattoo must be covered or conservative in nature. If they were to have questions regarding the appropriateness of a specific tattoo, you would reach out to our human resources team. Uniforms may be worn only during hours a team member is on assigned work shift. While in uniform, team members are representing of Yellowstone General Stores and should conduct themselves accordingly. So that's just a quick tidbit of our appearance and uniform standards. Again, we can go over that more in depth during the interview process, or if there are any questions. Let's see, so work schedules. We kind of went over this a little earlier, but store services are open to guests 7 days a week during the season. You will have a 5-day work week, allowing you to have 2 consecutive days off. Like I said, the hours range from 32 to 36 with a maximum of 40 hours per week. Schedules and days off are handled by the store managers and supervisors. Let's see, wages. So our base wage for our seasonal non-tip positions is $17.75 an hour, with some positions paying more depending on physicality and increased job duties. All hourly associates are paid weekly on Fridays. You are able to receive a paper check, money card, or enroll in direct deposit. Just a quick note, employees working in our warehouse, admin role, or in any of our West Yellowstone positions are technically considered Montana employees and will be subject to a Montana tax withholding. Those team members who are working in the general stores, which are located in Wyoming, are considered Wyoming employees. And I believe we talked about the clinic tax. Sorry, I'm losing all of my notes here. Yes, so all housing, meals, and health program tax are payroll deducted, as we talked about before.
Working at Yellowstone, we've mentioned multiple times that they're general stores, so it's retail and food service jobs. Most positions are available in those roles, but we also have supporting roles in like custodial staff, warehousing, drivers, electricians, trainers, employee dining room staff, which include cooks and kitchen assistants. The main requirements for the jobs are to be flexible. The ability to work as part of a team is what we're looking for most. Minimum physical requirements include being able to stand for extended amount of time, bending, stooping, kneeling, climbing stairs. Store positions do not permit sitting during shifts. Employees must be able to occasionally lift 30 to 50 pounds. Some roles may require lifting heavier amounts. All of our stores are located at altitudes ranging from 6,000 to 8,000 feet. If you're unsure about the ability to live and work at high elevation, please consult your doctor. Individuals with these conditions may be affected by the altitude and should seek clearance before applying for a position. In accordance with the National Park Service policy, all associates are required to pass a pre-screening background check 30 days prior to their start date. Details regarding the process will be discussed further at your interviews, but it's important that you know that you must pass that pre-screening before you can start. Some of the benefits of the position, I kind of skipped around here a little bit, are you get a discount on items in our store. You get 30%, and then there's a one-time employee benefit day where you get 50% off, and that is off of, there's a few items that are not discounted, but like tobacco and alcohol, but generally you get 30% off of things in our stores. And then you also accumulate, according to the contract, some sick time while you're with us that can be used if you have a medical illness or something. There are other benefits depending on your service with us that you may be entitled to.
Okay, so exploring Yellowstone. In Yellowstone, there are an abundance of hiking, fishing, camping, and wildlife viewing that you can do on your days off or after work. There are about 1,000 miles of trails, hiking trails in Yellowstone alone. So the Yellowstone Co-op Employee Recreation Program, or YSERP, is a free service to in-park employees that offer different trips around the park, lead hiking and backpacking trips, rafting trips, sporting events, shows, photo contests, and more. There are programs offered by the National Park Service and by the Yellowstone Forever, another concessionaire in the park. These programs offered by the National Park Service include campground presentations, guided ranger walks and talks, the visitor center, museum displays, generally free of charge. Yellowstone Forever offers educational programs in addition to the NPS programs, actual classroom and field studies. There can be costs those to attend, but sometimes they offer employee discounts. So on the slide there is the website, www.yserp.org. Definitely a good website to check out and see what is offered by the services for the national park and everything.
Engagement. The hike-a-thon is something that is chaired by our environmental manager. She makes sure that we have activities that go along with this. This is an in-house Delaware North program, and you can earn different stickers for each level. And then there's also prizes on each level at which you can hike a different mileage. And there's also a program with YSERP that you can do double dip, and while you're hiking, take advantage of the in-house hike-a-thon along with the YSERP's 100-mile club. So there's some fun things to do there. Adventure guides is something that we do in our stores as well. That's where you earn your little stickers and earn prizes as well. Green Path, we're a green company, and we do everything we can. We recycle. Our warehouse is a zero waste facility, so recycling is really important to us, and we explore and teach our team members the ways that you can help keep us on that green path. In each individual store, there is safety committees to help with making sure that things are not overlooked and keeping the visitors as well as your team members safe. There also is a culture at each store that is shaped by the local management in the area. Activities and social events will differ by location. It just depends on where you're at, and managers have different ideas of hosting different things. And we do celebrate 3 holidays over the summer in the park. We celebrate 4th of July with t-shirts that are given to each of our team members. We celebrate Halloween on July 31st, also with a t-shirt, and you're welcome to dress up in appropriate clothing. And then we celebrate Christmas on August 25th, and there's a history of why we celebrate that. But we also celebrate that with a t-shirt that's given to each team member for you to wear and learn about that exciting Christmas holiday in August.
Okay, our benefits. So some benefits include, waking up in Yellowstone every morning and being able to experience the different climates that Yellowstone offers. Like Lindo talked about before, we all associates receive the 30% discount on gift, apparel, and grocery items in the store. This does not include alcohol, tobacco, batteries, or camera equipment. And then we have our select employee days where you receive 50% off those items, the items that are included in the discount. You also will receive a employee pass that will get you free entry into Yellowstone National Park and also Grand Tetons National Park. We also offer medical, dental, and vision benefits to our team members who are hired at full-time seasonal. More information can be provided during the hiring process if that is something that is of interest for you. Lastly, we do offer a employee completion bonus at the end of your contract. And again, we can discuss more about that during the offer process as well.
Are you ready for an adventure? We'd love to have you join us. Employees are required and given preference if they're able to work a full season. Seasons vary depending on the contract length that we have and the opening closing dates of the store. More can be discussed at length during your interview. The average length of a contract can be anywhere from 3 to 6 months. Applicants who meet the qualifications will be contacted for phone interviews. If you have not applied with us yet and you plan to, please attach your resume to your application. All candidates will undergo screening and will be scheduled for a phone interview. If you're offered a position, you will receive an offer letter to accept in our ISOM system. Paper applications are not accepted. A background check will be, you'll be asked to complete 30 days before your start date. All of our communication will come via email to you, and you will also, all of your check-in information, everything will be coming through email. I like to mention that check-ins occur in West Yellowstone, Montana. So for those of you that are RVers and planning to travel, your first destination would be West Yellowstone, Montana. If you can't commit to working an entire season, we do hold interviews and place candidates on a wait list. Should a short-term position open up, we will contact the candidate to determine if it's the suitable fit. We do give preference to folks that are partners too. We have very limited RV sites. We have about 100 amongst all of our stores. So priority is given to 2-person occupied units. To apply for a position at the general stores, there'll be a link provided here. You go in and you make your own portfolio, and then from there we'll reach out to you. If you haven't decided on a role you'd like, we have limited some of the openings already because we have filled a lot of roles. You can apply to a position that's out there, and we can reach out to you and talk to you about that position, but also let you know other things that we have available. So if you don't see the exact role you're looking for, please feel free to apply for something. We'll reach out and see if we can find something for you. Due to a high volume of applications each season, processing may take additional time. You will be notified to schedule an interview. You may be placed on a wait list, or you may be told that you are no longer being considered for a position. Kayla and I will be in Tampa, Florida for the RV show in January, and we will be conducting on-site interviews for the 2026 season. Our need right now is in our Mammoth location. It is an RV only location. We don't have dorm housing there. So those of you that are thinking of coming on board with us, we do ask your preference in the application. If you put Mammoth, you have a really good chance that you'll be interviewed quickly. But there are some caveats with Mammoth. The campground is 7 miles from the store, so you do commute each day. The sites there are $50 instead of $80 to give you a little bit of money off for that commute that you'll be doing. So some of those things to think about if you are going to apply for our Mammoth location.
So that is everything. That's going to end our presentation for today. Thank you so much for listening and considering us here at Yellowstone. Again, applications can be submitted through our ISIMS website, our career site, and you can always contact us if you have any questions. And now we can definitely open it up to any questions here, Jody.
Awesome. All right. Thanks so much, Kayla and Linda. Lots of thorough information there. Hopefully those of you listening can tell they've done this before and they know what questions that you guys as work campers have to ask. So they covered a lot of really good input there. But for those who are on the live webinar with us, please feel free to type in your questions. Many of you have been doing that already. That's awesome. So if you're on a smartphone or tablet, you should have a chat or a question mark at the bottom of your screen that you can tap on to then type in any questions. If you're on a laptop computer, you should have a little control panel screen with a little chat or question section where you can type in any input. All right, I will try to do my best to kind of keep things organized here so we're not jumping around on topics too much. But real quick, you guys mentioned you were going to be at the Tampa RV show. Are you guys planning on being there for the full show every day?
Yes, we will.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. Have you guys done that show before? I forget. I think you did it last year.
We've done it for quite a few years now. Yep, we're always there.
Cool. Very cool. Yeah, it's a unique experience for sure. Okay. All right. So as far as applying goes, right now they can apply for the 2026 summer. And how early can they apply for 2027?
So our recs for the 2027 year will open next November. But if I don't know if you have their email or anything, Jody, we could definitely take their information and put it on our wait list of interested people for next year. And what we do is when those recs are posted, we kind of do like an email blast to let them know that they can go ahead and apply for that next season.
Cool. Very cool. Okay. Yeah. So mark your calendars, everybody, for November of next year. And you guys are usually really good, getting in touch with us. So if you are a Workamper news member and you're, getting your daily hotline jobs email, Delaware North gets organized ahead of time. So typically when their application season opens, you'll see that hotline ad coming through our system and landing in your email inbox. So if you are a member, you'll get that update through us too. Okay, all right. Let's talk about season length and season dates, if you wouldn't mind going over that again. So start and end dates of your season and kind of how long you'd like work campers to work and maybe the minimum amount that you would allow for.
I'll cover that one. Our season starts as early as April and goes all the way through the 3rd week in October. It varies per location. Some of our longest seasons are that 6-month season, and those are at our large stores like Old Faithful Upper and Canyon. We would like a minimum of 3 months, but do take priority for full seasons. But we will, apply if you have any availability, and we'll try to fit you in somewhere. What happens is that, you know, life happens to folks, and they've committed for the full season, and for some reason, you know, they can't stay with us. So we may have an opening, and at that point we reach out to that wait list and try to fill some of those shorter term positions that people have. Our shortest season this season is going to be, we're opening a new pizza place, and it's going to open in mid-June, and it'll go through mid-September. So that'll be our shortest season position. And the other season that's usually short is our lake store, and the seasons kind of match with that 3 months there too. But we are completely full at that location already. So we had a huge returner list this year, which is great for us, not so great for our RVers, since we've had that limited space. But we're always looking to get you on a list if you are willing to commit to a shorter time, and you'll get priority if you take a full season.
Sure, that makes sense. Okay. And we have an attendee who has worked before with the Park Service, and they're wondering if there are any pre-season or early season positions that might be available.
Our earliest season is either our warehouse or maintenance positions. So if they have any skills in those areas, they're welcome to apply for those. Some of those start in February and March. The RVers would be for the maintenance. We don't have facilities that are open for RVers in February.
A little too chilly, yeah. Awesome. Okay. And you kind of noted this already, Linda, but you said, do returning employees typically get like preference over new applicants?
Yes. We have an intent to return that we ask everybody to fill out before they leave us, and then they get first priority back to the spots. Out of 420 this year, we had like 265 returning. So we had, you know, great success with returning employees, and that's one of the things though, that once you get here, if you love it, you're welcome to come back the next year.
Awesome. That's really cool. Okay, now thinking about the flip side here, will you guys consider first timers that have never work camped before?
Certainly. Everybody's got to start somewhere. I actually started with Delaware North as a work camper myself. My husband and I have been doing it for 4 years now. So, yep, we were first timers, and you know, we definitely would take first timers for no.
Yeah, absolutely. And most of your guys' positions, like you kind of alluded to, a lot of them are entry-level positions. And you guys do, I'm sure, you know, some training to get people up to speed on how you do things.
Exactly.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, all right. Let's talk about schedule a little bit. Some folks were asking if there are any part-time positions available.
Want me to take that? I'll take that.
Sure, Kayla.
So currently we do not have any part-time positions available. These are all going to be full-time seasonal positions with that hourly hour range of 32 to 36 with the max at 40. Each location is almost to the T mapped out of how many people we will need to work during the season for that time frame, with everyone being at that level of full-time hours. So it's hard to sort of break from that. So we are currently only looking for that full-time hour range.
Okay, sure. And would you mind giving a rundown of the operating hours for the general stores again?
I can do that. Let me make sure I have the right times. Okay. So during our non-peak season, which and correct me if I'm getting this wrong, Linda, are going to be more in the early April to about Memorial Day, are going to be from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. store operating hours. From Memorial Day until Labor Day, little after Labor Day, will be the 7:30 to 8 p.m. And then it will, from our non-peak time towards the end until mid October, will be the 9 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Okay, super. Alrighty, and as far as scheduling goes, lots of couples are asking if they'll be able to have the same days off.
I'll answer that. The managers do their best to schedule couples with the same days off. It helps if you're in different positions. If you're both hired to be cashiers, it's really difficult to have two in the same position off in the same time, but they really do their best, even if that does happen. But it's 5 days on, 2 days off. You may be scheduled a little bit differently on your work day with those extended hours from 7:30 in the morning till 8 at night. One of you may have to come in at the 7:30 time, and one may come in for, you know, our peak hours at 10 o'clock. But so that may vary, but managers do schedule you 5 days on, 2 days off together.
Sure. Okay. Okay. Let's see. There was a good question. Oh, you guys are asking some good questions. All right, where'd that one go? All right, sorry guys. Okay, all right, we'll have to come back to it. Oh, this is what I get for reading ahead. Okay. Oh, here, Christine just popped one in, same topic. Are the 2 days off consecutive, i.e. like Monday and Tuesday?
Yes, they are consecutive. Yep.
Okay, cool. All right, that's
yeah, we really encourage folks to that, you know, if they need time off, I get asked this question a lot, like, you know, I have a vacation planned in the middle of the season. We really discourage, you know, giving any of that time off. Like Kayla said, our hours and our expectations of staffing are really tight of what we need in each location at what time. So, you know, if you've got plans like that, you know, you got a week trip, you know, coming in the middle of the season, this might not be the season to come to Yellowstone, but we'd love to have you when you don't. And, but if you need an extra day off on, you know, on to your 2 days, consecutive days off, many times we encourage folks to just switch with others in the store instead of requesting time off, because then we're short if we request the time off. But if you switch just schedules with someone else, all of those hours are accounted for then.
yeah. Okay, that sounds good. All right, let's move on. We've had quite a few questions about housing and the dorms. So as far as the dorms go, are service animals allowed, like certain, you know, service dogs or service cats?
Take that one on there.
Yeah. We go ahead, Kayla.
So service animals are allowed. They have to be completely certified, and our HR team will work with you on getting all of that information. Am I missing a piece on that, Linda? I feel like I am.
You have to disclose at your interview that you do have an ESA animal, and it has to, like Kayla said, be certified, and all that certification actually goes through our human resource department prior to hiring. So that's something they are allowed in the dorms, but everything, remember, is shared housing. So you will have a roommate, and your roommate can be, you know, can be sensitive to animals and those things. So we cannot give anybody a single room just because of the amount of staff that we hire. So those are some considerations to take if you do have an ESA animal or a service animal.
Sure. And are those service animals allowed at the work locations at all? Probably not
Only,
for sure.
Yeah, it's only service animals are, ESA animals are not. Service animals have to be are certified differently than ESA animals, and they can't be in the work. ESA animals cannot be in the work location.
Okay, okay, that makes sense. Alrighty, and for folks who do want to live in the dorms, if they're older, are they going to be put with the young kids?
We don't have designated areas. You know, the managers do their best to, you know, make roommates that are of similar age but the dorms are noisy. Earplugs are always recommended. There are certain, you know, like sections that, you know, the managers will try to put, but mainly there's a common hallway in these dorms, and you know, folks will be using them at all times of the day and night. So they're just things to consider. Our dorms are very much like college dorms. So, you know, like I said, common hallway, common restrooms down the way, not private restrooms, and all dorms are shared.
Sure. Okay. And someone was inquiring about the bedding requirements in the dorms. I guess what is provided in the dorms, and what would the employee need to bring with them?
There is a single size bed, twin size bed. Each team member gets a set of 3 drawers, and then there's a shared closet. So they would bring their own bedding. I always recommend a mattress cover as well. But you can have that shipped in once you get there as well. We do have like temporary bedding that you could use until your own bedding arrives. But if you're driving, you can bring it with. But some of our folks that stay in the dorms fly in, so you could have that shipped in.
Sure. Okay. And if you wouldn't mind, and maybe Kayla, we could back up to the slide that has the cost for the RV sites and the dorms. We had a couple follow-up questions on the cost of the dorms and the RV site. And so maybe we could just bring that slide up.
Yeah. I think this one.
Okay, perfect. So there are the costs, guys. Dorms are $50 per week. And then you guys said that the folks that live in the dorms are required to do the meal plan for $75 per week.
Correct.
Okay, okay. And as far as the $37.50 lunch meal option for RVers, can they be flexible on turning that on and off during the season that they're there?
We only give them one time. So if you opt to have it, and then you opt not to have it, you cancel it, you get one other time during the season to turn it back on. So it's not like a daily or monthly or weekly thing to turn on and off. You just get the option once in the season. You cannot choose which meal you get for that $37.50. The $37.50 is the lunch only. Lunch is our largest meal of the day. Think of it like as a supper. There's a big protein, starch, and vegetable offered, along with a dessert, salad bar. Those are all offered at that lunch meal. Dinners, I always kind of say, they're kind of like a fast food kind of thing. Pizzas, sandwiches, tacos. And breakfast is like an enhanced continental, where we'll have everything that they'd have, like yogurt and pastries, along with an egg or French toast or something like that option with it.
Oh, nice. Okay. Oh, you're making us hungry. Okay. Good stuff. All right. Kind of sticking in our talk about costs and monies and things. Let's talk again about the wage and the benefits. So what was the starting wage again?
Starting wage is $17.75 an hour.
Okay, awesome. And is there an opportunity for employees to purchase health insurance?
So our employees who are everyone's coming in at that full-time seasonal rate, they will be able to get employee benefits, medical, dental, vision. I believe it's the first of the next month that they're hired. So if they come in, I think one of our first days is April 14th, I think. By May 1st, they should be able to select benefits if they choose to.
Okay. Okay. Super. Alrighty. And okay. Do returning employees get an increased wage from previous years?
Oh, our wages stay the same. If you come back, there is no increased wage. And just if you take a different position, some of the different positions have higher wages. So if you work your way up, then your wage will increase, but you'll stay at that $17.75 at those entry level positions until they raise the entire unit to a higher level.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. Alrighty. And I don't know if this is any data that you guys have, but a work camper's just wondering about getting an estimate of like typical cash flow. So like on average, after deducting, taxes and site fees and maybe paying for lunch, what would the average work camper be earning maybe per week or per month? Obviously the tax situation is going to vary by individual, so it's kind of hard, but he was just looking for a general estimate. I don't know if that's anything you guys have.
No, we don't, but they can easily, you could figure it out by just multiplying the $17.75, just take that base wage. If you're in the park, you won't have taxes for Wyoming, so you would have just your federal taxes. You do that as a percentage, and then taking out your fee for your RV site and your meals if you choose to do that. But no, we don't have, and it just depends on hours you work. If you would have to do it on the average of 36 or 32. I know a lot of folks ask, because of Social Security, they can only make so much money. So that's something that you would have to figure out, but we cannot reduce your hours at the end of the season if you're going over your Social Security amount. So please make that, know that we are not able to make you from full-time to part-time because you're getting to your max of your Social Security.
Right, right. Yeah, that's understandable. Okay. Do you guys know if the costs for lodging and meals are taken out pre-tax or post-tax?
I want to say pre-tax, but I can find out and let you know. What do you know, Kayla?
I was going to say pre-tax. I believe that's how the payroll deductions are for like insurance and everything. So but we can double check and get that information.
Yeah. So if that's a question that attendee you need an answer to, please send an email to Kayla or to Linda. In a minute, we'll go back to the slide with their email addresses on the screen. Okay, let's hit on electric at the RV sites real quick. We had a couple questions there. They're wondering what the kilowatt rate is for electric, or at one point maybe you said electric was included, but then the slide says it's billable. So we're just looking for some clarification about electricity at the RV sites.
The used to be billable, and it is no longer. It is included in your $80. So there is no kilowatt rate. It's included in that $80 fee. So that should answer that.
Okay, great. Easy answer. I like it. Okay. All right, a couple more questions here about RV sites. Are families allowed in the employee campgrounds?
Sorry, Jody, can you repeat that?
Sure. Do you guys hire families who are RVers, so they would live in the employee campground areas, but maybe they're a family traveling with children who are maybe not of working age?
So certain positions that we have, we may be able to hire our younger folks starting at 14. That's correct in Wyoming, right, Linda? 14?
14.
Yep. So they would have to be 14, have all the required working papers if that's needed. And it's only specific positions, but all of our positions that we have, you being 18 older, you can work in all of them. So if you are a family and you have a teenager in that range from 14 on, it's something that we can discuss in the interview if that's that's something you're looking at, and it would be the same kind of process with them. So they'd need to apply, and we would interview, and then we would make sure that they are the correct fit for that specific position. It's going to be those entry level ones. So our food service team member, stalker, cashier, those kind of positions for the younger ones.
If you do have family that are not of working age, so younger children, they are welcome in the RV park. But you know, of course, someone would have to be available to stay with them during working hours. So we cannot make schedules for partners that would need split schedules. So we'd have too much of an overlap in our scheduling to make two separate schedules. So one person would have to be available to do childcare for the children. Sure. And I did get an answer on the deductions. It is post taxes.
Okay. Okie dokie. All right. So still thinking about RV sites here. Can a single work camper get an RV site?
We do allow single RVers, but we do take priority with those partners. Like I said, we have very limited sites. So once we have gotten to the point where, you know, we have hired as many partners as we can, then we open up the rest of the sites to the single folks.
Sure. Okie dokie. All right. And still thinking here about the RV sites. Do the campground areas all have shower and bath facilities? I think no.
You're right, Jody. No. It depends on the location of the campground and the location of the store. We have a few that don't have comfort stations. So that would have to be something that would be discussed at the interview. That's one of the requirements of why there is, you must be fully contained, self-contained. And also, you know, Yellowstone gets varying weather. And sometimes facilities go out. So it's important that you can have stored water and you can have your own, restroom in your facility and able to take a shower without being dependent on those comfort stations.
Yeah. Okay. And do the folks living in the campgrounds have access for doing laundry? No matter which
every location either has it in the campground or at the store.
Okay, perfect. All right, let's see. Okay, a couple more RV questions here. Pets in the RVs. It is okay to have your pets in the RV while you're at work. When they were talking about animals being unattended, like you can't put your dog outside on a leash and then go back inside and take a shower or go take a walk and leave your dog on a leash by itself. But like they can have like their dogs and cats in their RV while they're at work as long as the pets are contained within the RV. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Yeah, and typically, like as far as checking on your pets, like maybe on a longer shift day or something, do the work campers have a break time, or typically work campers would find a fellow work camper to check on their pet if they had a pet that was more needy?
Yeah, usually that's what happens. Folks will go on their lunch break, or they will, kind of share it with their neighbors. Many of us that are RVers have pets, and know how important it is to be able to let them out during the day. So you either make, arrangements with a neighbor or, do it on your lunch break.
Yeah, okay. All righty, let's see. Are there dump stations close by? I mean, the RV sites are full hookup, so you would just dump at your site.
Correct. There are no dump stations.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Okay, for those who have like, I have this very unique RV and it's like this, go ahead and reach out directly to Kayla and Linda and talk to them about your RV type and see if it falls under, the guidelines that the National Park Service has set up. Because that's what Delaware North has to follow, what the National Park Service lays out for them. So oftentimes the restrictions, any restrictions that there might be, are coming from them. So a few folks have asked some very, my RV is this. So go ahead and reach out. We won't go through each of those here on the webinar. Let's see here. Okay, are guests welcome in RVs in the employee campgrounds, or do they need to register?
Yes, if you're going to be staying within the unit, are welcome. Your RV is just like your home. You can have guests. The only problem that becomes is vehicles. There is very limited spots for additional vehicles in the RV parks, but a lot of times they're just, if you have visitors, you'll park at the store and then, just carpool over to your site. But you are welcome to have visitors at your site, just like you are at your home.
Cool. Okay, super. All right, let's see. Okay, talking about the Mammoth location, how much traffic is there from the Mammoth site to the general store, or how long typically does it take for that drive?
7 miles. For those of that have been to Yellowstone, it's the road that they had to build quickly when the flood was happened a couple years ago. It is pretty windy, and going in and out of that gate, there is an employee entrance, like to the far right or left, depending on who dictates it, where employees go through the gate with their pass. The actual drive from the campsite to the store would probably take you about 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay. Would it be reasonable for an employee to do that on an electric bike?
That road has no shoulders. It would be dangerous to do that.
Sure. Okie dokie. All right. Let's see. Okay. Question here. It's a Workamper couple, but the wife has a remote work job. How will the internet connectivity be for that person? For doing remote.
Yeah, I can. So in the actual RV sites, there's no, we have no internet and there's no Wi-Fi other than inside the stores. If you have your own Starlink, you're definitely going to have a lot better, it's going to be a lot easier if you do that. So I would suggest if you are an RVer and you are going to have a remote job, to have Starlink.
Yeah, for sure. And if you do happen to be, a person who uses Facebook or social media or whatever, that might be a good question to pose. Whoever's worked in Yellowstone during the summers and had a remote job, how was your connection and how did it go? Was it super challenging? Just to try to get some boots on the ground, more opinions. I know, Linda, you've worked there for multiple seasons now and but I don't think you did a remote job at the same time. I'm sure.
Well, exactly. And the thing with that, it depends what location you're at too. Some of them, the sites are tree covered. Canyon being a great example of that. The sites are heavily wooded. So it would depend on the location that you're in. Even with Starlink at all of our stores, we have some connectivity issues at times too. So it's something to consider if, you have a job where you have to be on all the time, or, it's okay to be off a little bit if the system isn't up all the way, even on Starlink.
Sure, sure. Okay. All right. A few more kind of hop around questions here. Let's see, back to before when you were talking about the appearance guidelines and restrictions. Are those set forth by Yellowstone or are they set forth by Delaware North? If it is Delaware North, do those guidelines apply nationwide at your other locations?
I got that one, Linda. So it's a mixture of both. So there are certain standards that Delaware North has that falls under our guest path initiative and guest path standards. And then specifics on the uniform, such as wearing your name tag on the specific area, having your blue jeans be clean and no rips and things, are going to be a Yellowstone specific. But those initiatives that are going to be certain things like hair color, facial hair, having that natural hair color, let's see, another one, tattoos and body piercings and having only 2 earrings in your ear. Those are more on the Delaware North wide standards.
Okay, sure, that makes sense. And speaking of other locations, do you guys have any warm winter weather locations for work campers?
Let's see. You might be able to answer this one, Linda, with Kennedy.
We don't have any direct work camping positions that we can transfer folks to that are warm winter locations. For the first time ever this season, Delaware North does run Kennedy Space Center in Florida. And we have had some folks transfer from us to Kennedy Space Center for the season. They are RVers, but they are in a private campground that they're paying for. So they're just employed. They're not technically work campers, but Delaware North does have some employment opportunities, not necessarily work camping opportunities.
Sure, yeah. So it just means, yeah, the work campers would have to find their own lodging close by. Makes sense. Okay, let's talk about the application process here real quick. So everybody, the website's been on the screen there, dn.careers/YGS, dn.careers/YGS. That's the website that you go to fill out the applications. If they are coming with maybe a couple or maybe a couple teenagers in tow, each person needs to fill out an application on the website.
Correct.
Yes, if they're planning on working with us, yes.
Yeah, and they have to have individual email addresses.
Sure.
So the whole family can't use one email address, even if they have to have, each member must have their own email address.
Right.
They're tied to a profile, so it has to be whoever is applying, that's your email address that they're working with, and then each individual person should have another one, a different one.
Okay, that makes sense. And if folks are interested in different positions, do they need to apply for each one, or is there kind of like a multi-checkbox or something?
Fortunately, they do have to apply to each one, but if it's something that, you can apply to a few, and like we had said earlier, we can always go over more options or more opportunities that we have if it's something that's brought up. So if let's say you apply to our warehouse position, but also maybe interested in painter or maintenance, just bring that up and we can discuss it with you and then kind of fit you in whichever one would work best, and we will kind of go from there and get you set and with the positions from there.
Sure.
Okay. Right now, if you go out to that website, you're going to see the positions that we currently have available. you can't, if there's nothing you're interested in there, apply to one of them that are closely, related to something that you'd be interested in doing. And then, we'll reach out to you. Some of them we've had to close already because we've had so many applicants to those positions, and some will reopen as the cycle kind of goes through. So in the next couple days, if a whole bunch of returners decide they're not coming back, then we'll have to reopen a requisition for different positions. So if you don't apply right away and you apply next week, there might be different opportunities next week than there is today.
Wow. Okay. That makes sense. All right. These folks are wondering if we know location managers, should we apply at their locations and the Mammoth location as a backup since we're RVers?
Gives you the option in the application to say your first location and then your second choice. So if your first location, the manager at Canyon, and then your second, you would like also the option to be considered for Mammoth. There's an option on the application itself to put those two choices or whatever your choices are.
Sure. Okay, that makes sense. Alrighty, and another question here. Is Delaware North LGBTQ friendly?
Yes, definitely.
Alrighty, and a couple more random questions here, guys, and then we're going to wrap things up. What is the elevation there in Yellowstone, and a little bit about what the weather might be like?
Cover those. The lowest elevation in the park, where the stores are located, is going to be 6,600 feet. The highest being 7,800. But then there's hikes up to 10,000 feet, and 12,000 is the highest peak in the park. So, but you'd be working minimally at 6,600 feet, maximum 7,800 feet. And then the weather varies. April, May, June. I'm not even joking, can be cold and snowy. We get the majority of our winter weather is done mid to late April, but it's not uncommon to get May and June, and even they've had a July 4th snow. Those later June, July snows don't stick around, but it can be very cold. RVers often use electric heaters in their units because you can burn through a whole lot of propane. And then at the end of the season, so we have 2 to 3 great months of fabulous weather. And then come late September, October, we're getting ready for that winter again. We can have snows in that time, but it's nothing that that you can't prepare for. And also the park is very well aware that we have RVers and guests in the park that are, have large vehicles and are towing. So they do a really, really good job of clearing the roads. And if they're not able to clear them, they'll close them. So, everything is done around the seasons. So they're the park National Park Service is very good about maintaining the area for the weather.
Oh, good. Very good. Awesome. Okay. And is a typical workday 8 hours?
Depends on the store location, but most stores schedule an 8-hour day with a half-an-hour lunch. So usually 7.5 hours a day.
Okay. And typically, how far out do the managers make the schedule?
They're required to have it out by the Wednesday prior to the coming week. And some of them will do it in like a 2-week cycle. So, but they are only required to have it out a week in advance.
Okay, super. All right, you guys, you did it. All right, you powered through a lot of really great questions there. All right, so thank you attendees for all of those good questions. And again, if we didn't cover something, you have more questions, in a little while later this evening, we'll get that email out to you with a link to the recording of today's webinar, so you can go back and watch it again and just make sure you got all of that information written down that is important to you. And then Kayla and Linda's email addresses are there on the screen, and the website's there on the screen, so definitely reach out to them if more questions do come up. But you guys did a wonderful job covering a lot of information today. I feel really prepared to apply and come work in Yellowstone. Maybe someday I'll get to. But is there anything else, Kayla or Linda, that you guys want to wrap up today?
I just wanted to thank you, Jody, and thank the work campers for joining us today, and look forward to having you guys apply with us.
Yeah, it was really great to go over all this information, and thanks again, Jody. And we hope to meet some of you in Tampa when we're there for the show. For the week and a half we're going to be there. We're excited for that too.
Awesome. Very cool. All right, everyone. Well, I hope you learned a lot about the opportunities available with Yellowstone General Stores. As you can tell, they've been hiring work campers for many, many years, and lots of work campers love to return. And it is really unique, special opportunity, not for everyone. So hopefully, you know, the information they gave you today will help you make that decision if it's right for you or not. But definitely reach out to them, get your application in, and enjoy one of our country's most beautiful parks. And with that, we thank you for your attendance and your participation, and we hope you all have safe travels. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.